All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of our in-home college football playoff rankings show. Timmy Hall, T-Bone, and who's that over there? Panama Jack? Is that the common man
baby.
with a straw hat tonight?
I'm bringing the stupid.
Like you do.
Where are you
so
getting these
well.
hats?
Sadly, I have too many stupid. I got to go out and buy more douchey hats now if we're going to do this every week.
I guess so.
Maybe not every single week, but we got probably a couple more of these to go before we're done. I enjoyed my Culvers tonight. Oh, beautiful. Bone, how much do you think it is for 3 people and 1 small ice cream at the Verge these days?
I'm going to go with $46.
That's right. $45 and change. Holy crap.
You know what? It's even more expensive at the Shake Shack.
Just saying. Shake Shack? You got to have common man money to go to Shake Shack.
No. I can't afford to go there anymore.
Yeah, that's
what are you sipping on there? Something very tasty?
Oh, just some apple juice. No problems here.
Yeah, that's what I thought. T-Bone, how are things? How's the shows the last couple of days? We just rolled off another easy Buckeye football win. Mike and I have been talking about a little bit of the exhaustion that we have, and maybe the hesitancy at the same time. We want to get to the Michigan game, but that doesn't yet mean that we're not super nervous about it or wondering what is going to happen in that game when we get to it next Saturday.
Oh, I mean, you know me. I have PTSD from Michigan games going back to the 90s, so the last few years have not been kind to my gut when it comes to this week. So I am obviously very nervous, regardless of how talented the Buckeyes are. I just can't get past. I need to see it happen. I need to see this team win. However, adding to that stress is the fact that 2 of your star wide receivers were getting very cryptic messages from Ryan Day, which I know we'll all talk about tomorrow. He had his press conference today. You guys probably talked about it a little bit.
Are you not absolutely terrified by this? Because I'm convinced that Jeremiah Smith may be deceased and they don't want to tell us.
I may have to yell at King at some point, because on the air on Monday, I was just screaming about the fact that we have 800 beat reporters for this team, and not one of them knew that Carnell Tate wasn't going to play for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like where are we at as a society, to quote Mike Gundy. But yeah, I just
ask the questions about this guy.
It's just a little frustrating. But yeah, hopefully we'll get some clarity. But yeah, no, I'm terrified. Not because I think that this offense still can't be good against Michigan, but if everybody's dealing with leg injuries and they're wide receivers, those don't typically just heal themselves over 2 weeks. Those are
and I know the philosophy is, next man up, right? But these are the 2 best receivers in college football. Not to mention that Julian Sayin took a little bit of a knock in that game too, so he was limping around for portions of that game. Caleb Downs looked like he took a little bit of a knock in that game. That was a 48-10, and it could have been the biggest moment of the season if Jeremiah Smith is not able to go.
I didn't understand why he was put out there. That's something that still I've not gotten a good answer on. I don't know what the logic was, other than, well, he wants to go. Great. And I want to do a lot of things I can't do right now. So let's live in our reality, right? If you're hurt, I don't think you should have played in that game. So, but yeah, I mean, you can't not be nervous about this. One of the guys we're talking about who had the injury had a Heisman website made for him. So obviously it would seem like that's going to be hard to – it was already an uphill battle anyway, but that's not going to happen. But I just want people healthy for the Michigan game. But more than that, like I've seen people saying, oh, you don't think they're going to play? I'm sure they're going to play. It's whether or not they can be healthy after that game going forward to Indiana, going forward to what they hopefully will do in December and January. So, yeah, a lot of nerves for me on that one. I am not feeling great about those 2 guys being injured to whatever degree they are.
Boys, this is the fun night for me. This is the edition where we sandwich the college football playoff rankings update in between 2 pretty awesome college basketball games. We had Michigan State just make a statement win as they hammered Kentucky. This was a 10-point game with maybe about 8-9 minutes left to go. And then Izzo's squad, Jackson Kohler, had a big game. McCullough hit a bunch of threes. They stepped on the gas. They won this game 83-66. Kansas and Duke is coming up. No Darren Peterson, a fabulous freshman with the Boozer twins for Duke. They're going to show themselves today or tonight, and we're going to get the update here soon. So I ask, I'll go with you, Bone. Outside of maybe Indiana. If Indiana's the pick for you, who is the scariest team out there that you don't want to see match up with Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, I have been someone, and I'm trying not to be a homer. You guys know I will rip the crap out of the Big Ten. I'll rip the crap out of Ohio State. But I really don't see it from Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Those SEC teams do not scare me. Georgia might. And I say might because I still don't know with what they just did this past week. I don't know if that's just them owning Texas, because if you go back and look at the last 3 times Georgia's played Texas, it's been kind of a bloodbath. So I don't know if Georgia is that for real. That's a little worrying, right? Because they've been there, done that, and they have the whole Kirby Smart, nobody believed in us thing going for them now, because everybody's kind of been pushing them down in favor of other teams. Certainly Ohio State, one of those. So the motivation factor will be there for them. Not that that really matters. It's there for all these teams. But yeah, Georgia's probably the one that scares me the most right now.
Mike, would you be excited? We got to get there first to see Ohio State face this Indiana team that we've been watching all year in a Big Ten championship. And who the hell knows? There's possibilities for college football playoff rematches here. We've always talked about the idea or the prospect of seeing the same team twice. Could be the start of something here.
I would be excited to see it. I think that, I doubted Indiana early in the year. I thought they were going to be a one-hit wonder, and they're not. I don't know if this is something they can continue to do every single year, but as long as Kurt Cignetti is there, he's famous for saying, Google me. Well, the dude wins. He's arrogant as hell, but he backs it up, right? And if I'm looking at all these teams, and I know that, the SEC people will say differently, I don't know how you can look at this and say that Ohio State and Indiana aren't the 2 best teams in college football. Go look at Indiana's resume. Hell with our resume. If you want to say that Texas is not very good, or you beat Illinois and they're not very good, fine. Hell with that. Look at Indiana's resume, and you really tell me who in the SEC has a better resume than that. I
don't see it. I look at Indiana and say, it's not just they're winning. Most of the games they're dominating. Go look at Texas A&M. To your point, Mike, Texas A&M gets credit for coming back and beating South Carolina, but that Marcel Reed, I keep saying, is going to blow up. He did blow up in that game. It just worked out that Shane Beamer's guys blew up even more.
Can you imagine Ohio State doing that against UCLA?
No. Oh my
30
God.
30-3 at the half.
No.
And then coming back and beating that game. Do you think Ohio State would be getting praised by people? Oh, what a gritty comeback performance. And say, no, what the hell was that?
No.
This team sucks.
They would never do that. And let's not make out South Carolina to be some tough, grizzled team. They are who they are, and they are really bad. That was crazy that Texas A&M was messing around with South Carolina like that. I guess you win the football game at the end of the day, but when we're doing these rankings from week to week and we're analyzing, going over everything with a fine-tooth comb, you got to take a look at that one. And there's no question A&M's been concerning since they let Arkansas drop 40-plus points on them. In a win for them still, but either way. Hey, look who we have here. 10 TV's Adam King is up there.
I'm really confused. First of all, Jerry Martz was very intrigued by all of our setups here.
What was Jerry doing there? He was
just giving
a closer look.
Yeah, just getting a closer look at why Mike looks like he's sitting on a Florida patio.
Well, I'm glad to see that I'm not the dumbest person on this show anymore.
Hey, that's mean to say about T-Bone. I do wonder.
I'm used to it, King. Don't worry.
T-Bone, it's 8:45. Did you sleep earlier and now you're woken back up?
Yeah, I get a nap most days. We have a recliner. That's where that's my show prep recliner, where I just go lay down, get some good rest, get the I put a mask on, so cucumbers on my eyelids. That's your facial routine that you were telling me about. 100%. That's what I do. I do I do Adam King's facial routine.
Timmy gets a good nap too. Unfortunately, it's 3 to 6.
Hey.
I set the alarm for 2:59.
He's not even married like I am.
How is it that we're 10 years into this thing still dealing with the college basketball halftime show?
What's the problem? No good?
I just want they don't have to be hand in hand. Just let me enjoy college basketball and give me the rankings. Don't make me wait till some random preconceived time.
ESPN, I mean, they have the college basketball games and they have the college football playoff. What are they going to cannibalize one for the other and say, just go to ESPN 8 to Ocho. We'll put it on there tonight.
Move the rankings to Wednesday.
Move the what do you, does it matter that much to you?
It does.
They're going to do it now, 30 minutes late. Look, they're set up there on the court. You got Joey Galloway, a great Buckeye wide receiver, giving you his hot takes.
Oh, Joe, speaking of Joey, did you see the latest edition of Joey and Herbie's podcast that they do?
I ain't seen it. What happened?
Oh, you ain't seen it. Well, Herbie always likes to tell people that he doesn't read any of his mentions or anything like that, but he seems to know everything about what people are saying in him and ESPN. Let's just say that Herbie used some foul language and he's going to have to go to church extra early this weekend.
Good. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I will say
careful where you show us, Adam.
It's pointed out to me that Kirk Herbstreit never beat Michigan. Most he did was tie Michigan when he was here. And his son, who played here, also never beat Michigan. So is there a father-son duo who's failed more against Michigan than Kirk Herbstreit? Streets are asking these questions. The lunatic fringe specifically wants to know if that's true. I can't think of anybody else who's been more of a loser against Michigan than Kirk Herbstreit, quite honestly.
What a state.
One son will be a spy.
I forgot. The son is a spy up there now, too. Even though
I don't even think the dog is a real dog. I think the dog is a robot spy.
A Boston Dynamics dog? It's a good-looking one, though. Because
the Boston Dynamics dogs move better than that.
No, those dogs move like crap. The joints are all off backwards. Adam, what was the press conference like today? We obviously were talking about the main thing was Ryan Day's coy comments about Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and how they're in good spirits. Spirits are good, but we sure would like to know that they're fully healthy for the Michigan game, and it doesn't seem like we're going to get that from him. He's playing the game right now.
Well, sidebar, we just got the first 5 rankings here. And Ohio State just earned an extra top 25 win. Illinois ranked 21.
Good to see. They should be up there. Illinois is a good team.
They should be ranked.
Yeah. All right, Common Man, I know you got a dip. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for bringing your hat. Wear the green hat next week, all right?
It seems personal that you're leaving now.
Well, I know you can cover it, King. I'm confident in your ability.
Okay, we timed this just right, Adam.
Try
so
not to
right
show
when you
us
came
your crotch
came here,
King.
Mike would leave.
I was trying to show the
hey, take a look at this.
King, if you could, Adam, could you put together another great game like you did with that Seinfeld game the other day when you were
all right.
Favorite games of all time.
It's really easy to do radio, isn't it, King?
That was pretty terrible.
All right,
bye-bye.
Mikey, see you tomorrow at 3:00.
Bye-bye.
All right, there he goes. And then there
too,
goes Adam, too.
I'm right here.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
All right, so the rankings.
Break down the rankings.
Who wants to do them? Because we're already down to 16. So.
All right, so number 15 is USC at 8-2. So we're getting to the top 15 right now. Do we really even care about reciting 25 to 16 for everybody?
No, here's the highlights I'll give you. 21 is Illinois, which is obviously a team that Ohio State beat. Michigan is 18 for those, that'll be, if they can stay up there, another top 25 win if Ohio State can win that game, which is all ifs. 17 is Texas, which of course Buckeyes already did that. Right there, you've got some top 25 wins that are, if those can happen. And again, Michigan's not a given. USC big game this weekend with Oregon, obviously. So they're being at 15. That's, big for the Big Ten's chances.
Lincoln Riley hates how game day is going to be there for it after nobody believed in him. It's not about you, Lincoln. It's Oregon's a good team too. They're probably going to drill you. Vanderbilt comes in at number 14. Miami, who is just a perennial fraud for me. I don't care who they bring in. I don't care how much money they spend. I don't care what anybody says, who their coach is. I am not going to be a believer in what the U does, but they check in at number 13. The ACC is one of these conferences that is so disappointing, and there is no top dog team at the moment.
I do agree with you on the fact that I think they are fraudulent. However, I will say, as far as beating Notre Dame is a pretty good win for them, and having 2 losses sucks. Their 2 losses, though, are within 1 score. So if we're going to be, whenever the parsing comes down, I'm not trying to stump for Miami. I think they might rise a little higher throughout this process if they win out, but I don't know that they will.
I think it's really interesting. Texas,
SMU and Louisville.
Yeah, they lost to SMU and Louisville. SMU was by 6. Louisville was by 3. They still have at Virginia Tech and at Pitt. So 2 road games that if they win, I wonder how the committee will value those. But
so BYU is 11. Might have missed Utah there at 12, and then Alabama with the dip there. So there we go. We got Alabama checking in at number 10. This is setting up beautifully to make sure that we get Alabama into the college football playoff at all costs, right? Because we didn't do that last year. We can't have a country if we don't have Alabama in the playoff.
Well, the thing that is very frustrating, I do think that Alabama is one of the best teams in the country when they're playing at their best. And at them at 10, you're looking at a world where Alabama, Notre Dame, and Oregon, if we expect Oregon to be 8 here, Notre Dame's 9, those are the 3 teams that you may end up playing in the Rose Bowl. That's another awful setup for the number 1 seed.
Well, I hope they get Alabama. I hope if it does work out that Ohio State wins out, which is not a given, but if they get to a point where they get Alabama in that spot, sign me up for that, because that is a basically 7-on-7 team that cannot run the football. Their offensive line is garbage. Like, I would love to see this Ohio State defensive line against Alabama's offensive line. I don't think Bama should not be in my I'm not a Bama fan in this at all. I do think I'm rooting hard for Auburn to give them loss number 3 and then I would make the committee shut them out. But if they get in and they play the Buckeyes, I would much rather have that matchup than that Notre Dame matchup personally.
Would you rather play – because here's where I think is interesting, and maybe it's the brand that's getting to me a little bit, because I watch constant college football and I just still can't get on board with Texas Tech. And so, if you said to me – Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, Oklahoma, or you play Texas Tech in that first round, I'm still probably taking Texas Tech. And right now, we expect them to be the 5 seed.
They're I'll tell you what, though, they are a tough out, man. Texas Tech is I feel like, maybe I could be wrong, their defensive line is one of the better defensive lines in college football. Obviously, we know about Jacob Rodriguez, their linebacker. Like, the game they lost, I want to say their starting quarterback was out for that game.
Yeah, he was not there.
So, I'm just saying, they spent a lot of money on that roster. You slap different logos on those helmets. I think the committee has them properly valued. And as we're looking at it, Notre Dame's 9, Oklahoma's 8, Oregon is 7. So, again, Oregon, USC. Where was USC again? Were they 15?
They were 15. Yeah, that's right, Bone.
So, if USC wins that, they're going to be in a prime position to make a playoff spot. Oregon might not, depending on how close that game is. If USC pulls the upset,
yeah.
Oregon has a chance to stay in there. And then at number 6, we have Ole Miss, which it's crazy to have a team in that good of a season, and literally their head coach is sending his family out to look at houses in other cities. It's just, what a bizarre situation.
Yeah, but he's posting little clips from books that he's read while he tags Ole Miss's football program in it, which makes it seem that all will be well. Texas Tech came in there at number 5. Back to what you guys were talking about. And just so you guys know, Timmy Hall, T-Bone, and Adam King from 10 TV, The Fan and 10 TV, with another in-home college football playoff rankings special, updating you on everything going on in college football as we're T-minus a week and a half away from the Michigan game. We got Rutgers at home for the Buckeyes coming up in a big noon kickoff. And then 1 week from then, the one that we're all kind of ready for, but maybe a little nervous about at the same time, but ready to see Ohio State back in a football game where we don't possibly know what could happen. It's been a lot of games where we've known exactly what could happen, but Texas Tech checks in at number 5, Georgia 4, Texas A&M 3. So it's going to be Indiana 2 and Ohio State 1 to round it out, unless they shock me. And there you go, Indiana 2, and then Ohio State will be number 1. But I do think a little bit about the brands that we're not so used to, especially when we heard a lot about Texas Tech and the money that they were spending and what a roster they were putting together. They stopped throwing tortillas on the field this year too. So maybe that's something that's got them less focused on
tortillas back. Come on. Yeah. That's great.
You know what? They were getting fined too much. Now they got to pay the players. They can't, you can't throw tortillas and have good players. It's either or.
it's a waste of resources too. Tortillas. I mean, they're like saying goodbye to like hundreds of thousands of tortillas on every Saturday down there. So you may as well.
But you know what it is though? It's the store-bought white flour tortillas. Those are basically trash anyway. So it's really more like
they're 99. They're 99 cents for 8 of them.
Don't you talk bad about some good Mission tortillas? Come on.
No, you got to go with the corn, the real corn. Let's go. Let's get some good tortillas in here. That's
all right. So there we go.
The
there we go. You can see the top 6 on the board right now. The A&M staying at number 3.
Oh my! Get that off the screen.
Adam King from his high school
Get
production
of
Hairspray.
That's fantastic, King. I was just going to say, Ohio State is locked in that number 1 position, just like Adam King's hair in that musical. It was just perfectly.
I'm not even wearing my wig or anything there. That's just a rehearsal. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot that looks off with this photo here for what I thought about Hairspray.
So
ridiculous.
I'm looking at the bracket right now because they've posted that. So the way this lines up right now, if I could get it, sorry, my TV keeps unpausing. That's not good. So they have Tulane as the group of 5 team for what it's worth right now. They're ranked 24th. They would be the team that would get into the playoff rankings, into the bracket. They would play Texas Tech in the 12-5 matchup. Ohio State at the 1 seed would be right now playing the winner of Notre Dame, Oklahoma.
Okay. Notre Dame or OU.
I feel like Notre Dame would be a 7.5 point favorite in that game. Like, I don't think people properly rate Notre Dame. Like, I think that's a really tough team.
But I think you're right, T-Bone. You're spot on. And it's killing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
No, I want to hear what you say. You're right. Like,
because
you said I'm right. I'd love to hear why.
I just wanted to back you up because I am getting to a point where I'm frustrated with the college football playoff layout. And I don't know how you fix it because, and I've said this before, and I think every week it's going to be more and more clear. I mean, look at the 4 seeds path right now. I mean, if Tulane can somehow upset Texas Tech, you've got Tulane. Otherwise, again, I know Texas Tech, they love their tortillas. I don't think that's as good of a team. Meanwhile, Ohio State would have to go Notre Dame, Georgia, and then Texas A&M or Indiana. I mean, it feels like the 1 seed for the second. Meanwhile, Texas A&M gets Ole Miss or Miami. Like the 1 seed continues to get kind of the short straw in this, and that's not how it's supposed to be.
You know, this is such a I hate this. I know what you're saying, and you're 100% right. What I don't want to do here, but I guess I will engage in this, is I don't want to live in a world where Ohio State loses to Michigan, God forbid. I don't want to think about them even losing the Big Ten championship game. But we know there's a lot of injuries right now. Well, there's not a lot. There's 2 big injuries that we're all concerned about with this Ohio State roster, with Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. If it works out that Ohio State does not win one of those games, let's say it's the Big Ten championship game, would we think they fall out of the top 4? No. I wouldn't guess that. No. If they beat Michigan, right, like assuming they get a split out of one of those 2 games, they're going to be a top 50.
Well, if they lose in that game, they don't go to the Big Ten championship.
Well, right. That's
right. Yeah, they're not.
So you cannot lose in Ann Arbor.
No, but, I mean, here's the thing. Michigan's got Maryland on the road. They're a 1-loss team. So, yeah, they would have the tiebreaker. That's how important these next 2 weeks are. Ohio State can't. Michigan, when dude kicked that field goal literally out of Wrigley Field, that was such a big moment for Michigan because that was going to be some protection for Ohio State possibly. And I don't even know what all the other tiebreaker situations were with Oregon also being a 1-loss team. Yeah. With a common opponent with Ohio, because Ohio State didn't play Indiana. Indiana would have been Oregon's only Big Ten loss. But, yeah, so we got to take care of business to get to that Big Ten championship game in the first place, which I'm looking forward to.
Oh, yeah.
You need to take care of it, earn your way there. If this season sets up to where you got to go undefeated and beat Michigan on the road to do it, I think this is something that's a burden that this team should have to bear. I do just quick look at the bracket there, and then we'll get some final thoughts, guys, and Jet. Alabama going to Oregon is a cool matchup for me. Like, that's the kind of home matchup. where you just never see that SEC team going to the PNW spot of the country that you love, Bone. I know out there in the Northwest, that would be cool. And then possibly Oregon with a rematch with Indiana in the very next round in one of the other big bowl games. So that bottom of the bracket as it stands looks cool to me. But I'll give you guys some final thoughts.
I was just going to ask this, King, because you were talking about the positioning and does it benefit you to be the one? Or I know you weren't saying like Ohio State doesn't want to be the one seed. They do, right? Because you want to win all these games, just be the one seed, and hopefully that works out for you. But yeah, looking at this bracket, like if Ohio State lost, let's say to Indiana, that creates a whole nother list of questions for us about this team, right? But if they were to have that happen, then like as it stands right now, they would be sitting in that Alabama-Oregon spot potentially, or maybe where Texas A&M is. Maybe they drop down to 3, where they would get a Miami-Ole Miss, and they, these are the interesting permutations on this, playoff picture. And I know it will change a bunch between now and when the final bracket comes out. But I'm not the type of person that would say, well, you want to be in this position or that position. Just win all your games and let the chips fall where they may. And if you have to play Notre Dame, Oklahoma winner, you have to play Notre Dame, Oklahoma winner. It'll be tough.
Yeah.
It's a championship,
I'm not losing my way into this by choice.
No.
That's not happening.
And I think you're spot on. I mean, I think the nice thing is if Ohio State goes up to Ann Arbor next week and wins, then I think they are guaranteed a bye. The committee has made it very clear that they are not going to penalize the team for playing that extra game. Where that shakes out will be interesting. I mean, if they were to go to Indy and lose, you have to assume Indiana would jump over them to be the 1 seed. And then you're right. Maybe it is Alabama, Oregon. Maybe Texas A&M, because they win the SEC, jumps up and they're the 2 seed. So Ohio State gets the 3. But I do not see a world where Ohio State wins these next 2 games and then does not get a bye. And I think that's a good feeling going into Indy, because then you can really just focus on solely wanting to win a Big Ten championship as they do. I know Jen asked in the comments here, if Jeremiah's 100%, do you play him against Rutgers?
I think that was something from our YouTube chat.
That's from Harry from C-Bus.
Harry, yeah.
Okay.
By the way, shout out to Chris G, Harry, Frank from Florence, Waffle Stop, my guy. Heron is in the chat, Mr. Michigan fan. You guys all rock. And I know there's more of you we didn't get to, but yeah, Harry had that question.
Thanks for checking in, guys.
Harry had that question about the.
I think if Jeremiah Smith is 110%, you still don't play him.
Agreed. Yeah.
Are you shocked they played him last week, King? Like, I didn't get that at all.
I'm not shocked. I think there is a concern or a worry of too much time off. And in retrospect, yes. Do I think they would probably have said, yeah, maybe we should have held him out if that's going to be what happened? But I don't think they did anything wrong, if that makes sense. I think he just, whatever is sore, he kind of tweaked it a little bit. Not even tweaked it. It's just maybe sorer because he played in that game. But I don't want to see Carnell Tate. I do not want to see Jeremiah Smith in uniform until you get to.
I'll rephrase it, because I'm always a believer of if you're 100%, you're here to play football. You're paid to play football. Go and play. But I don't believe that he is. I don't think any of us do. We saw the man limping. So he's not 100%. I'll even say if he's 90% or 92%, don't need to see against Rutgers, because there's bigger fish to fry. But if there were no bumps, no bruises, you're just happy-go-lucky out there making one-handed grabs and running all over the place, then I would say go. But we know that that's not the case at this point in time.
Well, and Timmy, to your point, I mean, with Carnell Tate, right? I know that wasn't the question, but like with him, like if he's 95%, right? You don't want to risk further injury, but also do you want him to go out for 3 weeks and then his first game action back is possibly a cold day in Ann Arbor? I mean, that's a rough one to test it on.
I see what you're saying, yeah,
like,
but I don't.
I'm with you. I don't.
Saying that makes me think of Jackson Smith and Jigba, and they tried to bring him back at that one point in the middle of the season.
They brought him back for Iowa.
Yeah, it was the Iowa game. Yeah, good memory. I forgot what game it was, but he was there for a flash, and he was gone again. Yeah. And that was his season. And who knows where JSN would be on the all-time Ohio State leaderboards for receivers if
he hasn't really panned out in the NFL though. So
I know it's really affected him in his pro career. Yeah. Well, guys, this was fun. I know we're going to do some more of these Tuesday shows coming up. T-Bone, what do you guys got coming up with you and Tyvis tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.?
Tomorrow morning we will have Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets to give away. I know that. So thanks to Jen for giving us those. Yeah, Tyvus was not clear on what that was, so we had to explain that to him, which is fine. We also have Boone Jenner coming up tomorrow at 8:30. We will talk with him. We will.
That'll be a good interview.
Yeah,
get an update on his health.
Yeah,
I had to interject really quick. I'm wearing my Blue Jackets hat. Can you tell Boone Jenner
I just
love
realized
him?
something
Thank
here.
you.
I will let him know that you love him.
Jen loves Boone Jenner. Okay.
Okay, bye.
By the way, I saw a roster from
Jen.
2019 on Twitter for the Jackets, and it was like, sorry, go ahead. What'd you say?
King.
Well, I said bye, Jen. She showed up. She's just here and gone,
Bye,
here and gone.
Adam. I love you, Adam. Thank
King.
you for helping me out tonight, Adam. Sorry about the picture.
What were you saying, Bone?
No, I was just going to say, I just saw a roster from 2019. An old tweet just resurfaced into my feed earlier today, and it was like Mark Texier, him too, Alexander Texier, and Cam Atkinson, and like all these names. You're like, well, that guy's done. That guy doesn't play anymore. That guy's not here. And then it was Boone Jenner. Like just everybody else was gone. Boone remains. He is the constant. So we're excited to talk with him.
Were you thinking of Mark Teixeira?
Yeah, I said, I don't know why I said Mark Texier.
Alexander Texier, the text message.
Yeah.
All right. Adam King of 10 TV, T-Bone from T-Bone and Tyvus. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock for Common Man and Timmy. We'll break down the rankings and talk with Jeff Rimmer at 5:30. Hopefully the Jackets get this win in Winnipeg. Little 1-1 score so far. All right. Buckeyes still number 1. We got Rutgers coming up, and then the game we've all been waiting for.
Timmy, who you rooting for?
What's that?
Who you rooting for tonight?
Oh, let's
there it is.
beat Duke. Let's find a way. Rock chalk. Let's find a way.
That's why you wanted to rap.
we got a basketball game.
Yeah, exactly.
That we got to get to here. T-Bone's got to go to bed now. All right. We'll see you guys. Thank you for checking us out. Have a good night.
Thanks, Jen.
All right. If we're still not live, go to bed, T-Bone.
Yep. See you, Timmy. Thanks again, buddy.